sunrise in my eyes. My rock's sweeter, meet the one I love. I don't know how, don't know why, I've been toasting all my life. Oh, it's sweeter, I've been toasting all my life.
Welcome to Phillip Island, Victoria in Australia. What a setting we have for this great sporting contest, the Little Penguin Sea to Dune race. Nervous moments always as they gather on the beach, the tension mounting, and away they go. There's the defending champion, wearing his familiar navy blue and white, great waddling style. Another pre-race favourite though, losing touch with the pack. Maybe that's why. A few too many fish in the day's feeding. There's a familiar face, Skip McIntyre, 8 times a champion back in the 90s, a very successful coach now, keeping a keen eye on proceedings. This the leading group, 1 or 2 still able to put on a show for the camera, others just ploughing straight over it. Some resorting to shortcuts. Sad that cheating has crept into this beautiful sport. The judges will have a look at that. But up at the front, the pace is relentless, closing in on those sand dunes that will offer a bed for the night. The fatigue starting to tell. Who's got the finishing kick up on the outside? What a turn of pace from that one, whichever one it is. No answer from the rest, and he takes victory. What a win. There we are, into the Burrow, building an extension with his winnings, and back tomorrow to try and defend his title here on Phillip Island.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Live Penguin TV. My name is Sky. I'm going to be your host for the evening, and today I am joined by Rachel.
Hi guys, good evening. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I will be monitoring your questions via Facebook and YouTube, so please feel free to pop in all your questions, and if I don't pick them up, we have rangers on standby to answer them for the next 24 hours for you as well. And for those of you who are interested, yesterday night we have had 1,093 penguins came home at about 8:30 p.m. How awesome. Hopefully we've got plenty tonight as well.
Oh yes, I really hope we'll have plenty of penguins tonight. Did you hear that? 1,093 penguins at 8:30. So hopefully we'll have a really big night of penguins again tonight. Now, today's a little bit special, everybody. Today is the first day of Naidoc Week. So happy Naidoc Week, everybody. For those who aren't sure what Naidoc Week is, it is a week of celebrations held around the country to celebrate the history, culture and achievements of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we live, work and learn. For us here it is Malau, Phillip Island, and it is the Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation. And I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I would also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea and community. I recognise their role in caring for country over thousands of years and acknowledge the true history and their continued connection to place as we walk and work together. Now, this year's theme for Naidoc Week is Always Was, Always Will Be. And that acknowledges and celebrates our nation's story didn't begin with European contact, but that the very first footprints on this continent were those belonging to First Nations peoples. So let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? Find out the name of the people on whose land you live. Let us know in the comments, and we're going to be celebrating Naidoc Week all week this week. Keep an eye on our socials and we'll certainly be talking about it a stack in these live streams all through the week to celebrate. So Naidoc's not the only thing that we are celebrating today as well, particularly for those who live in Victoria. We are celebrating that Victoria is going to be coming together as of tonight. As of tonight, our restrictions are going to be one and the same. So we are going to, those of us in regional Victoria, have the same restrictions as those in Melbourne, which is very nice. And we are looking forward to seeing lots of people from Melbourne come down and visit us here on Phillip Island, on Malau, and come and visit the Phillip Island Nature Parks. So we are a not-for-profit conservation organisation, and we do a lot of work in conservation, education and research. And the way that we support the work that we do, or the way that we fund it, is by people coming and visiting our sites. So by coming to visit the Penguin Parade, you are supporting us. By coming to visit the Koala Conservation Reserve, you're supporting us. By visiting Churchill Island Heritage Farm, you're supporting us. So please come and visit, come and say hello. We'll be working there. You make sure if you see us that you say hello and let us know that you've been watching online. But we can't wait to have you back, and we will be open every day starting the 12th of November. So that is this Thursday. From this Thursday, we're going to be open every single day. You do need to book tickets. If you want to come to any of our sites, you need to book tickets in advance. You can do that on our website. But we can't wait. And the main thing to remember for these penguins, for those of you who are absolute penguin fanatics, it's worth keeping in mind that our penguin parade still does have quite limited viewing. So if you want to come and see the penguins, you really are probably going to need to book in advance. So keep that in mind. But we can't wait to see you all and have you all back. So get excited, everyone. All right. And if you can't come and visit us, of course, it's just Victoria at the moment. If you can't come and visit us, another way that you can support us is by donating to the Penguin Foundation. So the link is above or below, depending what you're watching on. You can click through to the Penguin Foundation and you can adopt a penguin. You can become a penguin pal. You can donate to the wonderful work that we do here on Phillip Island Nature Parks and help us to sustainably conserve Phillip Island for future generations to come so that we can enjoy these penguins for a long time. Now, speaking of penguins, let's go look for some. Have we had any calls, Rachel, about penguins?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard anything yet.
No. So I believe it is Tom, Ranger Tom, who you know from the live streams, is our penguin counter for the evening. He's sitting on, I'll scroll back since they haven't called it yet. He's sitting in that box there. The
Pull it down a little bit.
sure. There we go. All right. He's sitting in that skybox just there. So when I mean the skybox, I mean this building in between the two stands. And let me get that in focus for you. There you go. Yep, so he's just sitting in that box there, and he is looking out to sea, looking for penguins. And joining him, who was counting on East tonight, Rachel? Sue. So Ranger Sue, who you also know from these live streams, she is on East helping with the count tonight. So it's all in the live stream family tonight. And we are looking out to see if we can see any penguins. So what we're looking for at the moment are rafts of penguins. That means groups of penguins in the water. Because of course we're here for the penguin parade. We want to see the penguins after a big day, week, month out in the ocean, swimming to shore and crossing the beach in their groups, ready to, is that rocks or penguins? Ready to make the dangerous dash across the beach. Now let me just look down here. I thought I saw some white bellies. Oh yes it is, there we go, we've got some penguins. Can you see them, everybody? So I think I've got to get them, yeah, like this. So there's two, just there's another one scooting back just above. Can you see running back to the water? They are really spread out, these little penguins. This is not a very together raft, I've got to say. This is a really sort of spread out group of penguins. So usually what happens is at this time of night, the penguins would be grouping together into these rafts and finding one another, because they've spent the day out mostly by themselves. And they find each other by hucking, which you've probably seen in the comments. It's a noise that the penguins make to call to one another, and it sounds like huck, 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 huck. And they're calling, saying, hey, where are you? I don't want to go in by myself. Where's the rest of my penguin pals? And there's a few of them in the water just there. They're saying, where's my penguin pals at? I don't want to cross the beach by myself. I want to go in with my friends. So let's band together. What's that in the back? Is that just a rock, or is that it has to be a rock. I don't want to get your hopes up, everybody, but is that a seal? Oh, yeah, it looks like it might be a seal. Oh, I hope it's not a rock. I really do think it looks a bit like a seal moving through the water. Oh, yep. Cool, everybody. So you might be able to see, is it a seal or a dolphin? Seal, surely. How exciting, everybody. Okay, so it looks a little bit like a rock, but you might just see a little something moving through the water. I've lost it now. Oh, I think that one was actually a rock. Wow, cool. All right, I'll zoom out a little bit just so I can keep my eye on what's going on with whatever that was. I think it might have been a seal. Might have to watch it back to see if it was, if it really was. It was, wasn't it? I wasn't going. Yeah. Yes, fantastic. Something. Yeah, you trick yourself. I'm a little bit of a pessimist, so I go, it's probably just a rock. I'm sure I got it wrong, but no, that really did seem like something. I think it might have been a seal. And we've got a really big colony of Australian fur seals that live near our knobbies, or really on the knobbies, essentially. And so they don't tend to eat the penguins. That wouldn't have been a penguin predator, probably, as long as it was an Australian fur seal. But from what we saw, considering that it could have been a rock or a seal, as far as I was concerned, I can't really tell you much more about what exactly that animal was or what it was doing here. But how cool was that, everybody? Bit of excitement for your Sunday night. Well, so much excitement today. Naidoc week, Ring of Steel coming down, and now we saw probably a seal. All right. So, got some little penguins on the water's edge. Now, let's not just get distracted from the reason that we're here, which is the penguins who are just swimming around that little rock there, not ready to cross the beach just yet. We're thinking about it. Yep, so they gather together for safety in numbers, and then they swim in together, and you can usually hear them when you're sitting on those stands. You can hear that hucking as they swim on in together so that they stay together, and then they arrive on the water's edge like we see here, like we're seeing here. And yeah, they think about making the dangerous dash across the beach, but these guys, I would say it's a bit too early. I'd say it's a bit too light for them. They are hiding in amongst the rocks rather than make their way across the beach. And in fact, the rocks are a nice place for them to camouflage because they've got a dark back. There we go. Yep, they've got a dark back, so they can blend in quite nicely with the rocks. They're hopefully not too much at risk by anything that might like to eat them, such as a a Pacific gull perhaps, or a bird of prey that would swoop down and take it, because they are the littlest penguin in the world. They are only 33 centimetres tall. They are 1 kilo roughly in weight. And very, very prone to be eaten. You know, they're a bite-sized meal. Poor little things. Oh, they're running back. Yep, they're feeling a bit nervous. You can see them. Oh, can you see that there's a little bit of a pool around the rocks there, and they're kind of trying to sit comfortably inside that little pool. They don't want to be out in the water just yet. Oh, it's very cute. It's like a penguin spa bath. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, I just love them, everybody. I just love them. And they might take this opportunity to go back into the water now that the water's catching up with them. No, they're just splashing around in that little spa. I love it. We've got the penguin salon and the penguin spa. So sweet. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, see what else is going on. Well, let's have a look. So there seems to be a few more penguins across this side as well. Yeah, they really are spreading out. Maybe they were nervous about the seal. I don't know, everybody. Yep, so there's little ones in the front there running back. There's silver gulls that are nearby. You might know them as seagulls. These guys are not a threat to our penguins at all. These guys are usually here for people's chips and leftover scraps that they might get left on the sands. So they're certainly not interested in eating any penguins. However, if it were to fly around, if any of those two gulls were to fly around, they might not wait to see if it was a Pacific gull or a seagull. They might just move, not take the risk. Yep, so we've got some hesitant penguins at the moment. Hesitant penguins. Not sure if they want to make their way in or out at this point. And I haven't seen any more sign of any seals or anything like that. So while we wait for them to make a decision, Rachel, do we have any questions?
Yeah, we do. We already have one, Sky.
Mm-hmm.
Do penguins eat squids?
Do penguins eat squid? Yes, they do. Yep, so squid is one of our penguins' favourite foods. They like to eat pilchards and anchovies and squid and even sea jellies as well. So, yep, they love to eat seafood, our little penguins. So that is why they go out to the ocean, because the ocean is their supermarket. They love to eat seafood. That is what they eat. But they do need to come to land. Ooh, we've got a penguin just above on our penguin highway. Where have you come from? Are you a shell gritter? Very interesting. We'll keep our eye on that little penguin there. Actually, we might flick. Let's have a little look. It's just one little sneaky penguin darting from side to side. Oh, you're very cute indeed. Now, are you coming in or going out? Are you going to visit a friend, perhaps? Have you been in all day and now you're getting ready for the penguin party? It might be inspecting itself in the window of the underground there, and yep, on its way. We don't think we've missed any penguins yet. We haven't heard the call of the start of the count, have we yet, Rachel?
No, we haven't.
No. So Tom has not counted penguins crossing the beach just yet. So I'm not sure where that penguin has come from. Where did you come from? Where did you go, little penguin? Oh, I've forgotten what I was talking about. Oh, yes, food. Yep, so they eat food in the ocean. However, they do need the land, because the land is where they mate, it is where they lay their eggs, and it is where they look after their little chicks. So their little chicks don't have that waterproof feathery coating for about 8 to 10 weeks. So they do need to be safe on land. So we find that the penguins will spend about 80% of their life in the ocean. That's where their food is, and that's where they feel most confident. That's where they swim really fluently. But they spend 20% of their life on land. So on land, they're not so good on land. We've seen them waddle from side to side. They can't bend their knees. Their knees are fused together. So walking is hard. They have to waddle and just sort of throw their body weight from side to side to be able to move forward. And certainly not as good as they are in the ocean. And so it's only 20% of their life, and important things happen on land too. And that's why we have this penguin parade, because every night of the year, there's at least some penguins who want to come back onto land, and they want to do it in the safety of numbers, and they do it after dark so they won't get eaten by predators. And thus we have this incredible natural phenomenon where little penguins all dash across the beach at the exact same time, just being incredibly cute. So it's a really incredible thing that we get to watch here at Phillip Island and part of Phillip Island Nature Parks. Oh, another raft. That is a raft for sure. Can you see that disturbance in the water? Here they come. Yep, there they come. So this little, it's actually quite a small raft again, I would say. This little raft is going to join with the penguins that we've already got. They're going to raft up together, I think. Join in, you little ones. What are you doing? Oh, yeah, so you can see one in the front's dashing back. It's like, oh, finally, my friends are running back. The others are coming in from the side. They're joining in this raft. They don't want to miss out on the action because now it is penguin arrival time. Yep. They're all going to want to go together. They're not going to want to be left alone when there's a group like this. So we'll see if these extra penguins coming along build the confidence. We'll see if they now have the confidence to actually make the dash now that there's more of them together. Well, they're forming up. There's some bold penguins at the front looking forward. Oh, no, the ones at the back are dashing back. Make up your mind, little penguins. Maybe they can hear more penguins arriving. Maybe they can hear another raft. Oh, no. Confidence is slipping, everybody. Look at that. The back ones are darting back and back and back. Oh, but the few at the front are holding steady. They are holding steady. But we are seeing a little bit of a divide now in this group. We've got some that are really thinking about going for it and many more that are saying nope. Oh, yep, we've got more defectors. Look at that. More running back. They're going their safety in numbers and there's more numbers back. Oh, yep, there goes another 2 defectors. And another 2. Oh, fell over. Oh, no, changing their mind. Oh, yep, okay. So these front ones are going, I don't care that the rest of you don't have the courage. I'm going for it. And some indecisive penguins at the back there kind of seem to be going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. But no, they are making a start. Oh, where's that one going to the side? Oh, that way for you guys. Yeah. Run. Where are you going? What's your plan? Oh, yep, they're into the rocks already. So once they get halfway across the beach, our penguin counter, Tom, will call a start to the count because we start our penguin count once 5 penguins cross the beach, and then we count for 50 minutes. And we've been doing this count since 1968. So we've been keeping an eye on these penguins for a very, very long time. So Europeans have been coming to see these penguins for about 100 years. It's been sort of an excursion, a bit of a day out. But the Bunurong have been coming to see these penguins for thousands and thousands of years. So the Bunurong used to travel to Malau because of the shearwaters, to sustainably hunt the shearwaters. And that's our short-tailed shearwaters who we've talked about in previous nights. And they lived very sustainably with Malau. And while the Bunurong were, well, it was just the Bunurong here, we had at least 10 colonies of penguins here on Phillip Island, on Malau. 10 colonies dotted all around the island. And it did not take long after European settlement for those 10 colonies to drop down to just this one that we've got left. And in fact, in the 80s, the numbers were dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping because we were living unsustainably with these penguins. And it was predicted that if nothing changed, we would have no penguins at all left on Phillip Island, on Malau, by the year 2000 if changes weren't made, if we didn't figure out how to live sustainably with these penguins. So after thousands and thousands and thousands of years of no problems at all, a couple of 100 years with European settlement here on Phillip Island, and yet we almost lost it all. But luckily changes were made and we now have 32,000 little penguins, which is fantastic. It's we're building that, but it's not enough. We do need to be thinking about how we can live more sustainably, not just with the penguins, but with all animals, not just here on Phillip Island, but all across Australia. So I really encourage you today, everybody, to think about how you can live more sustainably. How can you live more sustainably to help animals like the penguins, like our eastern barred bandicoots? And I'm going to give you one tip. One tip is that instead of using bottled water, you can bring your own drink bottle and fill it from the tap. That's a really simple thing to do, and it saves one whole bottle going out back, just one bottle that's a waste that didn't need to be made and that doesn't need to be put into the rubbish afterwards. If you want to take it one step further as well, you can think about using reusable coffee cups. And I know at the moment with restrictions that can be difficult, but there certainly are cafes that are accepting reusable coffee cups at the moment. Maybe vote with your money and go to places that will accept your reusable coffee cup. And certainly once it becomes safe to do so, definitely ditch that single-use coffee cup. So these are some ways that you can help to live more sustainably, and I reckon we're going to be giving you more tips throughout the week of how you can live more sustainably with our Earth. There's lots of little steps that you can make, and it may not feel like you're doing much, but all we need is everybody doing little steps, and we'll get there. All right, the count must have been called by now.
Yep. We had to start.
Fantastic. We've had a start time already, and this little raft is making it onto the front rocks here. So slow and steady wins the race for these little penguins. And do we have another question, Rachel?
We do, by Callan.
Hi, Callan.
Hi. Do penguins migrate from colonies to colonies?
Oh, okay, good question, Callan. Do penguins migrate from colonies to colonies? Not really, but there are exceptions. So, penguins tend to go back, when they hatch, they leave and they go on a penguin gap year and they explore for about a year or so. And then when they come back and start to make their burrow, they tend to make their burrow within about 50 metres of where they first hatched. Ooh, somebody walking past. Yep, where they first hatched, within about 50 metres. And so most penguins will come back to that spot within about 50 metres of where they hatched, and that's where they will continue to come back year after year after year after year. So in that way, the colonies do tend to grow within themselves. However, we have some penguins, some of you from Melbourne particularly might know that there's penguins on St Kilda, over at St Kilda. And, oh yep, here they go. They're running under the stand there. Just get these people out of the shot. Some of them will be running across soon, and we might get some penguins on our Penguin Highway very shortly. Yeah, they're very slow and steady tonight, aren't they, Rachel? But anyway, some penguins have made it to St Kilda. Now, you might be thinking, how did they get to St Kilda, or why have they chosen to go to St Kilda if there weren't penguins there before, because they weren't previously? This is a new colony that's started up. So how did they end up there? And the thing is, there are always a few penguins who are a little bit maverick, a little bit rogue, and they go, I'm not going back to where I was born. No, that's overrated. And there's a lot of food in Port Phillip Bay, right near St Kilda. And so I reckon some of those penguins probably went, why am I swimming from Port Phillip Bay all the way back to Phillip Island every day, every few days, every week, every whatever? Why am I doing that when the food's right here and I could just find myself a nest and a burrow right here? And so those mavericks just went, no, I'm bucking the trend. I'm not doing what all the other penguins do. Ooh, let's flick. I'm not doing what all the other penguins doing. I won't be told what to do by nobody, said these penguins. And they started a new colony in St Kilda. And, we've got penguins all across the south and even a bit of the east coast as well. We've got these little penguins can be found up in Manly. They can be found all across in South Australia, up across to Western Australia. So that does suggest that there has been movement across Australia, really. There are always some rogue penguins who won't play by the rules, will not go back to where they hatched, and will forge a new path. So, So mostly, they'll go back to the same colony, but not all of them. There's always the adventurers. There's always the explorers. All right, let's head on back out to the water's edge. And, oh, yep, we got some more penguins on the way. Oh, yes, so there's more penguins coming in along the bottom of the screen. Oh, yep. But I'm going to focus on these guys that have just arrived on the water's edge there. So it is a very small little raft. A very small little raft. Will they have the courage to go? Still looks reasonably light out there, but is that just our new cameras just working extra well in the low light? I'm not sure. Actually, looking out the window, it looks really dark, so I think our cameras are doing a great job of picking up these penguins. Oh, is that the seal in the background again? Have a look just towards the middle of the screen, everybody. It's moving, or is it just a rock? Am I getting too excited? I think I'm seeing a seal moving around there. Moving to the side, I think. Oh, it's very hard to tell. It's not making easy. We needed to do one of those big sort of porpoise jumps. Yeah. There. There's more penguins as well. I swear I'm not making this up, everybody. So we've got more penguins. I've lost sight of this seal, potentially, whatever it is. No, I'm not seeing anything anymore. It can't have been rocks. There's no rocks where I was seeing this movement. All right, back to penguins. Where did they go? Oh, did they all go back into the water? Ah, yeah, I think they did. All right, let's... It's getting very hard to see now. So we've got a few penguins just sort of hugging to those rocks there, not ready to make the dash. We've got a few more penguins out. Oh, we've got our ranger Paul there. So that's one of our penguin counters. Just there. So that's Ranger Paul. If you've heard us talking about penguin counter Paul, that's him. All right, let's keep our eye out for more penguins. I've cleared off. I wonder if whatever it was in the ocean has spooked them a little bit. You can see sort of some in that corner over here. Let's zoom in on them, get a bit of a look at them. Yeah, they're not happy to come out of the water just yet, are they? They're sitting back, not ready to go just yet. Let's get another question if we can, Rachel, while we await more penguins. Let's head back to maybe to the preening rocks and see what's going on there.
Thank you, Sky. We have Hayley. Hayley was asking, do penguins have teeth?
Do penguins have teeth? Great question, Hayley. No, they don't. They don't have teeth. They have a beak or a bill, like most birds, really. Here we go, more penguins on the way. And within that mouth, there are no teeth. Birds aren't known for their teeth. But what they do have are barbs. So that's like spikes within their mouth. And that helps them catch fish, because of course fish are very slippery, and they could probably wriggle away if they didn't have sort of sharp things to hold them in. So when they sort of clamp onto a fish, that fish is not going anywhere. It's certainly not going out. It's kind of the barbs are directed like that, so that it can only go down their throat. So most penguins will prefer to eat fish head first. Oh, we've got a shell gritter above. And because that's the way their scales go, it goes down more smoothly, and the barbs in their mouth help them hold on to those fish. All right, so the penguins, yep, here we go. We've got penguins now. We've got penguins walking. We've got penguins going behind. It's a great question, Hayley. Thank you for that. No teeth. But they do have sharp implements in their mouth, yes. But not for chewing, just for holding. They eat they eat their prey whole, so they'll eat their fish whole. They don't sort of cut them up. They don't chew like we would. And it's quite amazing what these penguins, and actually most seabirds, it's amazing. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. It's quite amazing what seabirds can swallow. You see they're quite small little bill, and compared to their bill, they can swallow quite a big fish in one go. It's really quite incredible to watch them do it. All right, so they're making their way across the beach over these rocks. Yep, it's a pretty low tide again tonight. And do we have any more questions, Rach?
Yeah. When the penguins are coming back to feed their chicks, how do they feed them?
Oh, okay. So, what a disgusting question. So how do the penguins feed their chicks? Well, the penguins will spend all day, all week, all month out in the ocean collecting food. And then if they've got chicks, they will, something has spooked them. Look at them go. Where are you going? What's your plan? Why are you going sideways? I wonder what has spooked them. Something scared them. They all got the message. But they seem to have regathered themselves and they're making their way forwards again now. Interesting. Oh yes, so they store the food in their bodies if they've got chicks, and they bring some home. Now we used to think that they had already started digesting the food in their belly, and that they gave their chicks a bit of a fishy, acidic fish soup, that, you know, mostly digested fish. And the way that they give that is they put their mouth against the mouth of their baby, and then they regurgitate or almost vomit just the fish into their baby's mouth. Yum, just what I love to eat. My mum's or my dad's regurgitated fish. Ooh, yuck. But they love it, and it helps them grow up really big and strong and fast. Now, wonderful. We've got about 5 minutes left, everybody. It makes them grow up really big and strong. What we found out recently, though, some of you might know this from when Dr. Andre came to talk to us. He told us about new research that has shown that it's not actually digested fish, that actually penguins will change the pH of their stomach so as to not digest the fish, and they actually work like a little fridge, and they keep the fish nice and fresh for their babies, so that they are actually giving their babies some really lovely fresh fish. How incredible is that, everybody? So they're really quite ingenious little things, little walking fridges. And honestly, if I saw a fridge walking, I imagine that a fridge would waddle. So it might be about right. So you have 5 minutes left, everybody. We'll see if we can get some more Penguin Highway footage. We haven't seen too many on the Penguin Highway just yet. Yep, they're sitting in front of the stands. They're shaking themselves off. Many of them are going to walk underneath the sands, but hopefully we'll soon see some coming up along the Penguin Highway. And unfortunately for our little chicks, just on that topic as well, unfortunately, sometimes if the parents have swallowed rubbish, they will regurgitate that rubbish into the bellies of their chicks, and sometimes we do find chicks that die with rubbish in their bellies, even though they've never been out to the water and they've never fed themselves, which is really sad. And unfortunately, rubbish in the belly for seabirds does mean that they fill up, or their brain gets the signals that they're fuller than they actually are. They can actually die of starvation if they've got too much plastic in their stomachs. They can have all sorts of diet problems. All sorts of problems occur from plastic ending up in our penguins' bellies. So a way to avoid that is to make sure your plastic and your rubbish does not end up in the ocean. Make sure it ends up in the bin. Or better yet, don't create that rubbish in the first place. Use a reusable coffee cup. Use a reusable drink bottle rather than a single-use drink bottle. Don't buy your bottled water. Things like this. There are ways that we can help. Oh, little penguin galloping along there. Yep, a few more rounding the bend now. Here they come. So do keep that in mind, everybody. Now, how are you enjoying the new tech, everybody? Can you see that even though we're on the Penguin Highway, we've still got the footage of the penguins on the preening rocks as well. I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving that we can see all of what's going on. And I'm also really enjoying on this this highway camera how much you can tell the difference between the sizes of the penguins. So I'm seeing some very chunky penguins. I'm also seeing some very thin penguins. And I'm wondering if the really chunky penguins might be penguins that have got chicks at home that they need to feed, and the more slender penguins might be penguins whose chicks have already left, perhaps, because we have seen quite a few fledgling penguins. A lot of the chick penguins have left, so we probably have some relieved parents. We've got one more making its way across along, but we might flick back to the other camera. All right, I'm going to get one last question from Rachel, and then I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. So last question, Rach.
Thank you, Sky. We've got MK Ali asking, do we have any stories of chicks asking food from any other animals?
Great question. Yeah, look, okay, so our chicks are really, we don't know if they don't know who their parents are, or if they do know who their parents are and they're just trying it on with other adults and other animals as well. So you do see, if you come and visit us, you may be lucky enough to see some penguin chicks harassing any old penguin that comes on past. And there's usually 2 chicks at a time, and they're usually just as big or bigger than the adults, and they sort of gang up on the adults and go me, 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 and chase after them and kind of peck at them and peck at their face, saying, give me food, and you see the penguin ducking and diving and moving and going, no, I'm not your mum, I'm not your dad, get out of the way, move. And they sort of run on past quickly, and then the chicks don't tend to want to follow them too far. So what we see is them sort of give up, go back and harass the next one. But yeah, look, sometimes, another shell gritter above, penguin going the wrong way for those of you who haven't watched before. But yes, sometimes they will harass other animals. So we used to have houses in the area where the penguin colony was, and we got rid of it. That was part of what we did to make our penguin colony sustainable, was we got rid of that housing estate. But we've certainly got stories of people's pet dogs being harassed by penguins, chick penguins asking for food, certainly. And I imagine, I don't know if you'd ever see a chick penguin take on a goose or something like that. I imagine the goose would let them know, nah, I'm not your mum, pretty quickly. But yeah, certainly if it moves, they will chase after them and ask them for food. In fact, even humans, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, they will run up to you and start pecking at your boots going, Mum, Dad, feed me. And you go, nah, penguin, my boots are not your mum, my boots are not your dad. All right, let's call it there, everybody. I hope you've had a good night enjoying these penguins. We look forward to having you back this week as we celebrate Naidoc Week. And I believe it will be either Jordan or Megan with you tomorrow. So make them feel welcome. And from Rachel and I, we'll see you guys later.
Thank you, everyone.
Make sure you donate. Oh, yes. Make sure you donate to the Penguin Foundation as well if you can. But bye, everybody.